Hello, this is Morgan from morganlinton.com, and I wanted to reflect on Steve Jobs' passing and kind of the impact that Steve Jobs has had in my life. And I was thinking, should I write a big piece and put a big article on my blog, or should I write a poem for him? And I realized that at the end of the day, I really want to do this on video so that you can capture not just what I'm saying, but some of the emotion behind it, hopefully, because for me, Steve Jobs, and a lot of people, but for me, it was really sad to hear that Steve Jobs had passed away, and has caused me to reflect a bit over the last 24 hours, really about the impact he's had in my life and so many other people's lives, and I want to share that with all of you. So, my earliest Apple memory is in the late 80s. I really wanted a Mac as a kid. I had PCs growing up, and I remember we were going to buy a Mac Classic from a good friend of my dad's. We actually drove in pouring rain from Berkeley to Santa Cruz. We picked up the Mac Classic and drove back that night. And I can still remember that night, getting home and setting up the Mac Classic on my desk and turning it on and hearing that boom, that Apple chime. And honestly, it changed my life. I was more creative with that computer than I probably have ever been. And I actually, at that point, was using Photoshop and PageMaker. This is a Mac Classic. It's a black and white computer with a screen that's like that big. And I'm doing desktop publishing and computer graphics. But Apple made it fun. There was something so enchanting about the computer. And that was really Steve Jobs' vision, was to create that. It wasn't just another computer. It's not just another company. It's something different. That whole idea of think different. And that really impacted me at a young age. And I actually joined the Berkeley Mac users group, and I was a young person in that group, actually. And it was so cool to see the amount of interest and passion that people had for Apple that really I didn't see with other brands. There were no like IBM user groups or Dell user groups where people got together and fanatically talked about how Dell had changed their life. Not that there's anything wrong with Dell, but it was just something different. And so that continued throughout my life, and now Apple has become more a part of my ecosystem than ever. My phone is made by Apple, my laptop is made by Apple, my desktop is made by Apple, what we watch movies with is made by Apple. What I read on primarily is now made by Apple, and what I listen to music on is made by Apple. It's a part of almost every moment of my life, and Steve Jobs had the vision and the passion to make that happen in a way that no other company did. And so when I look at, just what kind of impact Steve Jobs had on me, the impact that he had on me was to focus on not only your passions, but on doing something differently. That whole idea of think different has really stuck with me. And understanding that you don't have to follow a predetermined path in life. I mean, the cool thing with Steve Jobs is, he drops out of college and then audits courses and is interested in understanding more and learning more and was reading all these books. And for him, he knew that while most of the world wouldn't look at that as the right path to take, that was the right path for him because he had a dream, he had vision. And I think that's so important. I think there is so often in our society the feeling that you have to take this predetermined path, that what you do is you go to school and then you go to college, and then you get a good job, and then you get married, and then you buy a house, and then you have kids, and then you go to work every single day, and then you I mean, it's so formulaic, and Steve Jobs broke through that formula and said, wait a second, what's best for me and what can I actually create? And he created something incredible because he embraced that creativity. And so it all comes down to that. Think different. That's what Steve Jobs taught me, and I've been trying to think different throughout my entire life. And it's hard. It's unbelievably hard to do. You want to follow that path. But Steve Jobs really showed us what you can do thinking differently, being passionate, and doing things in a way that people may not have thought of, that may be so different and so bold that you would think no one would want to go through the trouble of doing it. Like the quality of Apple, everything from the packaging. Is it all necessary? No, it's not necessary. The packaging experience doesn't have to be as elegant, as beautiful as it is. But the fact that it is makes a difference. And that's what's so important. And that's what Steve Jobs has really left the world with, these incredible innovations, but also this idea that you can follow your dreams, you can follow your passion, and it doesn't have to be through the standard route that you think you have to follow. Sometimes you do have to do something different. And so um, this is my time to kind of say, getting a little touched here because it is a loss, and to say goodbye to Steve Jobs, someone that has impacted my life and impacted the world and made it a better place. So thank you, Steve, for everything you've done, and you'll never be forgotten.